My name is Pinar Toprak, and I'm the composer of Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. I've been obsessed with the Avatar world since the first film came out, and also a huge fan of James Horner's scores and the particular score that he created for Avatar. It's just been a huge honor to be a part of this project. The difference between making music for films versus video games is the process. Film is a lot more linear. We know where we're starting, where we're ending. Whereas the video games, there's a lot of in-game music that is dynamic, that changes depending on gameplay. For example, if it's rainy, if it's daytime, nighttime, different intensities, and all of that has to actually layer in perfectly. So that's always a tricky part, making sure the tempos, the keys match when the next layer kicks in. So those are the things that we don't really think about with film. Every region in the game has a unique sound footprint, and I wanted to make sure that while it pays homage to the original score, that we were able to expand on it and sort of what it would have been the natural evolution of what James Horner would have done. King Lore Forest is the closest to the original Avatar sound, with the lush strings and the harp and the vocals and just the warmth. And then we have the Clouded Forest that's a bit darker, and we have deep throat singing and Hardanger fiddle, and it's just a kind of a darker sound that we did not have in the original Avatar. And then we have the Upper Plains. We have a lot of different world mallets. The difference between RDA and Pandora when it comes to the score is I really wanted to make sure we had a distinct difference. RDA, ironically, actually is a lot less human. There's a lot more like metal sounds or more like industrial approach to it. There's hard synth bass sounds, and it's a lot grittier. And Pandora's opposite. It's a lot more organic, instrumental choices. It's a lot more human. Writing the Sarentu song was very special for me because it's a theme that we hear all throughout, and we hear it expand. It starts out as a lullaby, and then throughout the game, it just keeps expanding and evolving, and we finally hear it in its glory at the end. It was very special to work with Paul Fromer, who created the Na'vi language. As an Avatar fan, I was just geeking out with the fact that I had written something that he was actually going to write the lyrics to. So on a personal, emotional note, it was just really wonderful to get to create something that was going to have that much impact throughout the game, and how it really evolved from a lullaby to what it has become. I would say the most challenging part of working on Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is just the colossal amount of music that we've had to coordinate and record, just the logistics of it all. But Ubisoft has been so wonderful to work with, and it's just a lot of music and a lot of musicians. We've had over 200 musicians from all around the world, and we've had several sessions and different soloists. We've used a lot of unique instruments on this project. We had a Hardanger fiddle, we had a Mosenio bass flute, we had deep throat singing, layers of it, and we had didgeridoo process sounds that actually, like, some of them became like this low gritty synth that I ended up using on the Clouded Forest, and viola da gamba, and numerous ethnic flutes, just the list goes on. I was so happy that we got to release an amazing soundtrack with about 2 hours of music from the game. And one of my most favorite moments was receiving the vinyl in the mail. It's just really special and looks amazing, the artwork and everything. It was just really a satisfying and rewarding moment. The The most rewarding part is always seeing how it's all coming together, because a lot of the times when you work on video games, you don't really know how it's all going to fit together. And when I saw the game, it was just such a beautiful experience, hearing it and experiencing it. It just all made sense. And while I was writing, they were actually really awesome. They would send me the gameplays and I would see it being utilized in the game. So that really encouraged me and inspired me. The most memorable part of working on Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is recording it with an orchestra. One of the main recordings we've done in Scotland. That was very, very special for me. I'll never forget it. It just sounded so amazing, and to hear it come to life, that process is always the most magical to me. And then as the game gets released and it's shared by others, and just getting the feedback from the fans and how it impacts them. Because the thing with video game scores that's different than the film scores, the fans get to play and really be in that world for a very long time. And so the music gets experienced over and over again. With video games, the fans are so passionate about it. So sharing it finally with everyone and getting that feedback is very, very special.